Hello, it's nice to have you here. My name is Sam Morreale, and I have a few things I'd like to tell you about myself over my 96 years. And basically, I have many fond memories, which I'll try to inject in a proper perspective. Oh, by the way, my parents were Mary Ann Morreale, my mother, and my father, who was affectionately called Tony Salvatore Morreale. When they came over from Italy, my father had previously been here, found a job, and made arrangements for a place for her to live when they got here. I remember in my high school days, I graduated in 1934. I had very interesting, 4 of the best years of my life. I met some of the nicest people, and the teachers were especially nice. I was in every class play that there was. I spent studying automobiles on the side with books and science books. I was a science-oriented kid. And that, plus all the dramatics I got involved in. And to wind up my day, I used to go roller skating, and this was my real pastime. We not only roller skated, we had the mothers come down from Allentown, Pennsylvania, with their daughters and sons, and they were teaching us to dance on roller skates. But today, if you got the money, you can buy anything you want. But can you buy things like this that was handmade from the lumber from an orange crate that my mother was selling the oranges out of during the Depression years? 1927 is when this was made. And I cherish this as much as I cherish my son. Going back to my Army days, I recall one day we were marching along the shore and the water was wetting the sand down, and we had to march into it because we had to be prepared for all types of walking when you get overseas. Time started to pass, and I saw this little girl, and I said, my God, what a cute little thing. So I waited, and she started to grow up, and I said, oh boy, because I spent 4 years doing nothing but working at my business. So in the meantime, she's growing up. So the day came when I had the nerve to ask her for a date. And from the date, we decided that our chemistry was right. So we got married. We had would have had 4 boys, but the dear Lord only let us keep 1. And my 1 is 4 and 1. These are all Italian boys, and what they did, they gave scholarships out to anybody that needed it, not only Italians, but everybody else. And I tried to take some pictures of my favorite car, which was a 32 Plymouth, and I almost put 500,000 miles on the crazy thing. I used it for towing, courting, and enjoyment. Hello again. I'm sitting at the front steps of 209 High Street at the site of the original Harris Carriage Factory. Well, there was 5 of us that lived here. Myself, 2 sisters, and my mother and father. My mother had a business running a grocery store a half a block down the street where it joins Main Street. My father had his shoe repair shop. I really enjoyed living here. The tempo was right. It wasn't, it's got to be done now. We're in a hurry. I'll see you next week. It wasn't that. It was just the right pace. I'd like to add, while I was still here living in this house, I heard about the war, the Second World War, and of course I got the fever. I wanted to enlist in the service because they were looking for enlistments. So I walked out of this door, joined the service for 4 years, and came back to the same door. Thank God. What is love? Love is a feeling you feel you never felt before, and become a success and try to help others. In other words, love makes you fall in the shoes of the person that you're associating with. Love is the most wonderful feeling in the world. You know, it's the easiest thing in the world to quit smoking if you want to. If you don't tell your mind that you want to quit smoking, you're never going to quit. Look, we're Scorpios. We fight like hell. We argue like hell. And we turn that around to an advantage. Nothing is sweeter than our makeup. It's hard to explain my son because he is so successful. What he does in life, he does. I'm so proud of what he's accomplished. Now that we had a little pause here, let's just digress about my 3 great grandsons. Number 1, Joseph, the oldest one, is going to Villanova University, and he's going to major in, guess what? Humanities. And we desperately are needing people who are well-versed in the subject. Now, I hope someday that he becomes a professor into it. And I would just take time to ask the dear Lord to watch over him and make sure that he does humanities. So much for Joseph. Now we have Peter, who's going to Maywood College to become an architectural genius, because he has the vision of what he wants to do. Give him the capability and the mentality and the health to do what he wants to do. And God bless him through his college years and after that. Now, Matthew, he's a ball of wax. He could be most anything as far as fishing, sportsmanship. He is prime material for all the school games. It seems to me when he's not there, they're losing the games. He's very aggressive and he's very thoughtful. He not only thinks with his brain close by, but he can look into the distance and estimate what he wants to do. He will do it. And there's no saying no. Don't do this or don't do that. It's going to be done. He's very aggressive, and I'll tell you the truth, you can't help but love him, because he has a determination, and they're all good. And I think this is very important in life. And he's a good mixer, and he feels part of whatever group that they're together. not only in games, but in social life. And he is a lovable person. You can't help but like him. Not only him, but all the others. I think I've been blessed. Not only do I think I've been blessed, but my wife and our family, that we have 3 good, healthy grandchildren.